Bethesda ported Skyrim to a new system. They did it. And that headline is almost as predictable as this follow-up. Somehow, the new Switch 2 port of Skyrim is absolutely terrible.
They've only had 14 years to figure out how to port it to systems. Bruce, cut them a break, all right? Yeah, that's not great. Bethesda gonna Bethesda, I guess. That's almost as terrible as Rockstar Games suddenly changing their story about why they fired over 30 employees, because nothing says we're not union busting like switching your excuses multiple times until one sticks.
It's not all terrible news, thankfully, this week on the Inside Games Roundup. Helldivers 2 could be getting an entirely new roguelite mode, and John Romero's shooter has found new life after Microsoft pulled funding during their summer layoffs.
Yeah, video games indoors. Let's get into the news by throwing to the one Inside Games staffer that refuses to pull funding, pull punches, or pull out, Brian Garr.
Hey, shooters shoot. I'm just saying. I'm old school. All right, first up, let's talk, Skyrim on the Switch 2. It's bad. So Bethesda shadow dropped Skyrim Anniversary Edition onto the Switch 2 Tuesday, promising a better version of the classic RPG than the old 2017 Switch port. And visually, it delivers. Models and textures look closer to the other Anniversary Edition releases. Everything else, though, pretty rough.
That's no good. Players quickly noticed the game is locked at 30 FPS, even though Skyrim runs at 60 FPS almost everywhere else. And by comparison, even Cyberpunk 2077 hits 40 FPS on the Switch 2.
Yeah, and it came out about a decade after Skyrim. Sheesh. And if you add in what many describe as very heavy input lag, especially in handheld mode, a lot of fans are saying the game just doesn't feel good to play. Yeah, I saw a video of that, of somebody like nudging the stick with a timer and showing just how long it takes for the inputs to reach the game. How did that even... I don't know, man.
It's 2025. It's baffling that we're having this issue with Skyrim. But yeah, the file size, another surprise, 53 gigs on the Switch 2. By comparison, Skyrim Special Edition on the PC is 12 gigs. The anniversary upgrade hits about 25 gigs, and the Xbox Series X and S is 32 gigs. I wonder if they accidentally put the Switch 1 version in also by mistake.
More likely they're probably piling in a bunch of mods to make this game look good, and then it's inflating the size, because that's usually what they do. Is they'll do like the anniversary editions will then be like, and here are the mods we love the most from our creation or whatever, Bethesda tends to patch its games over time. Things could improve, they probably will, but for now, many players suggest waiting before buying Skyrim yet again.
But I want to buy it now. That's a shame, too. On the Switch 2, you don't have modders to swoop in and save the day.
I've never played it, but I heard good things. Just kidding. It's great. It's great. I played Skyrim. Do not roast me in the comments, please.
It's going to be next week's 30-second review. 5-second review.
That's a little bit too new of a game for me to 5-second review once. All right, let's talk about Rockstar, who swears hand on heart that the 34 employees it recently fired weren't punished for trying to unionize, but for leaking, quote, specific game features from upcoming and unannounced titles in a Discord channel.
And they said as much in a statement to IGN. The statement went on to read, quote, Rockstar Games took action against a small group of individuals across the UK and internationally who distributed and discussed confidential information, including specific game features from upcoming and unannounced titles in a public forum, in a breach of company policy and their legal obligations. Claims that these dismissals were linked to union membership or activities are entirely false and misleading.
The IWGB union, which represents most of the dismissed workers, says that's false, calling Rockstar's new explanation, quote, littered with falsehoods and disinformation. The union maintains that Discord discussions were about working conditions, not game content.
Yeah, in a statement, the union said, once again, they have chosen to mischaracterize workers speaking about their working conditions in a private forum as, quote, leaking information. And as we all know, the working conditions at Rockstar are A+. Never been a problem. I'm sure they're just happy as clams.
Don't you talk about them, though. Don't talk about them.
That sounds like you're about to leak some company secrets there, Brian. Be careful. The firings, which amount to 31 in the UK and 3 in Canada, have sparked protests, letters signed by more than 200 Rockstar employees, and even questions from the UK Parliament.
Yeah, even UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the situation, quote, deeply concerning, and said ministers will investigate. UK Parliament member Chris Murray, who represents the area around Rockstar North, said that Rockstar demanded that he sign an NDA during a meeting. He later said he left unconvinced that Rockstar had followed employment law or clearly explained why the workers were fired.
That is wild. They wanted him to sign an NDA. He's from the government. Anyway, the IWGB has filed legal claims alleging union victimization and blacklisting. Rockstar continues to deny any link between the dismissals and union activity.
The thing that smells about this excuse is that if they had leaked stuff on a public Discord, I'm sure it would have spread around the internet as fast as it possibly could have. It seems incredibly unlikely to me that they were actually leaking game information and it didn't immediately get spread or screenshotted. There would be evidence because this is the internet. And when it comes to anything from Rockstar Games, people are going to lock it down and spread it and it's going to feed rumors. And none of that happened. There had to be some gap of time when these 34 employees were sharing all of their treasured secrets and Rockstar found out and dropped the hammer on them, if that's what happened. Doesn't seem likely. But in that gap of time, nobody talked, and also this entire Discord got scrubbed. It doesn't really add up. If it don't gel, it ain't aspic.
And I have told this story before, but I know from personal experience when it comes to actual leaks, when I was working for The Know at Rooster Teeth, I got an actual leak about GTA 6 and Rockstar went nuts. They locked down the studio. I was on the phone with a VP by the end of the day and wanting to know what happened. I didn't give him anything, but yeah, that is totally different from just talking in a Discord channel. All right, let's talk about Helldivers 2. Fans are buzzing after Arrowhead creative director Johan Pilstedt casually revealed on social media, just casually, that the studio has a prototype for a roguelite mode.
Yeah, and he even said that it changes the game fundamentally. Now, there's no promise it'll ever release. Those comments were enough to send the community into theorycraft overdrive.
Yeah, that's got me wondering what that's going to be like. Maybe you have to do a whole campaign with a fixed number of deployments? I don't know. Players began imagining what a roguelite twist on the co-op shooter might look like. Maybe endless defenses, wave-based fort missions, booster upgrades between rounds, limited reinforcements, maybe missions without time limits. You just got to play it safe. Interesting.
Yeah, for now, Pilstedt has only confirmed the prototype's existence, not its future. Still, his post racked up over 120,000 views, and hopes are high that maybe something will actually come of it.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job of releasing a bunch of content, so I hope that they continue with that and put out a little roguelite mode. That'd be really fun. Meanwhile, Helldivers recently launched its big 5.0 patch in the jungle-themed Python Commandos Warband, complete with fan-requested weapons like a minigun. Arrowhead has also said that Helldivers 2 is meant to keep going for years and years, which means no Helldivers 3 anytime soon. That's about 10 years off.
And we gotta wait for the player numbers to start falling off before we're gonna get a 3.
And finally, Doom co-creator John Romero says his previously canceled shooter has officially survived. His company Romero Games lost funding over the summer after the mass layoffs at Microsoft. That led to the project's cancellation, but the studio quickly clarified it wasn't shutting down and started looking for a new partner.
And now, speaking at the Madrid video game show, Romero confirmed that the team found a way forward, getting a wave of applause from the crowd. It seems like a new publisher or some kind of deal was found, with Romero recently stating that the game had, quote, survived cancellation.
They did. According to Romero, the game has been basically completely redesigned. It's now a smaller indie title, but one the team finds more fun to work on because department directors are directly handling code, design, and everything else themselves.
Yeah, he hasn't shared specifics yet, but Romero said the shooter incorporates elements from the old version, but is, quote, completely different in design. He also teased that he has, quote, never played a game like it before, and he compared its sense of discovery to Elden Ring.
Ooh.
I am a big fan of games where you're just a guy wandering around in a big, empty, weird landscape, and you just find weird shit constantly. So that's what he's cooking up. I'm in.
I like how he's like, it's a lot like the game that was a classic. It's like that. Yeah.
Sold 40 million copies, but it's indie.
All right, let's do a 5-second review. All right, now I'm a firm believer that every gamer needs some mobile trash in their diet, and I have been playing Clash Royale recently. I'm gonna admit it, I'm a Mega Knight player, the kind that everyone hates, but there you go. My name's Brian. I play Clash Royale.
Hey, speaking of free games, we got some because Inside Games is always on your side, trying to keep some money in your wallet. It is a pretty weak week for Amazon this week. They only have Dungeons & Dragons, Forgotten Realms, The Archives, Collection 2, that's the whole title of one thing, and Christmas Adventure Candy Storm. But don't worry, it's going to get better. Epic Games, as we saw during the Game Awards, they're giving away Hogwarts Legacy for free. So you just got to go click on it. There's a couple of free games here on Steam as well. There's a spooky game called Just Ignore Them. You can just scoop that up. And also Black Desert is free from Pearl Abyss. So get them while they're hot. They're only free for the next couple days, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Up next, our upcoming games for this week. And it turns out it's just one. And it's called Dadish 4. Dad's been kidnapped. The evil homeowners association has plucked a Dadish from the radish patch. And it's up to his eldest son, DJ, to rescue him. Explore 50 tricky levels, battle food-themed foes, and try not to get squished by a tunnel boring machine. Can DJ save his dad before it's too late? Comes to Switch, PC, iOS, and Android on December 18th. Brian, that was it? That was the only one?
All I could find. Yep.
All right. Into the end of the year doldrums here. Now it's backlog time, all right? We're not scooping up any new games. We gotta play the ones we've been sitting on, like Skyrim. Yeah. And as we end the show here, thank you very much for watching Inside Games. I always like to take a little moment to thank you for choosing to watch the show. I mean, we love making this show so much that we do it even when we're super hungover.
Wake me up!
And we only get to do that thanks to you. So thank you very much. We have a few extra brave gamers that support us directly through Patreon. So we'd like to especially shout out them and provide them an extra crusty hungover thank you. So thank you very much, Pablo Garcia, Baron5X, Just a Chair, Versalite, and UESC Battleroid for making our gaming dreams come true every day.